Hey everybody at YouTube. I just got back from a fishing trip yesterday from Hunting Run Reservoir in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And I can tell you that the bite is on down there for bass fishing. The bass fishing was great on Saturday. I caught about 5 or 6 bass, a couple of nice sized ones, and I missed an absolute monster on a gigantic live minnow. But if you haven't been down there, it's just outside of Fredericksburg. It's about 420 acres. It's electric motors only. So once again, another great place to fish if you have a kayak. It's a pretty deep reservoir with a lot of deep drop-offs and a lot of underwater structure. Once again, not a lot of structure on the shoreline, right? So you're going to have to fish this one a little bit differently. But I would say that the bass are absolutely in that pre-spawn mode right now down there. And for folks who are new to fishing watching this video, pre-spawn basically means that the bass have not moved up on the beds yet in the spawning phase where they lay their eggs. They're in that phase right before that. And what they're doing is they're feeding pretty aggressively down at the bottom. And I found most of the bass in the 4, 5, 6, 7 foot depth range. And then so if you're out there, look for those depth ranges. If you don't have a depth finder, just back up from the shoreline, right? That's your best bet. Just back up from the shoreline. Don't beat the shoreline with your lures. But if you also find, that depth range of 5 or 6 feet of water near 15 or 20 feet of water where there's a severe drop-off, that's another great place to fish as well. So the technique that worked really well for me out there that I wanted to share was something called slow rolling. Right, so this is a classic pre-spawn retrieve strategy that you can use for like spinner baits, or you can use it for jigs that have a trailer on it. I got that tip from a friend of mine who was saying that that's the way the bass were hitting out at Lake Brittle. So I decided to give it a go with a chatterbait. And if you're not familiar with that kind of technique, basically what you do is you throw your chatterbait or your spinnerbait or your jig, throw it out, let it drift to the bottom, and when it hits the bottom, right, you'll notice a slackened line when it hits the bottom, and you'll see some of this in the video. Slowly retrieve it. Retrieve it fast enough, just enough to keep it dragging or bouncing on the bottom, right? And you'll feel that in the line. And fast enough to keep the blades turning if you have a spinnerbait or if you have a chatterbait. But every single bass that I caught out there was that technique, dragging it across the bottom. So I had a boatload of fun out there. Anyways, check out Hunting Reservoir if you can, and let's get to the action. Try it again. Oh, that's a nice bass. Oh yeah, isn't he beautiful? That's a pretty fish. That's a real pretty fish. That's a pretty fish, folks. That's a dandy. I bet you that slow roll is working. Oops. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful bass. Oh! Okay, everybody, that's it. Here's a summary of Hunting Run Reservoir. The bite is absolutely on. Water temperature is 55 degrees. They're definitely in that pre-spawn pattern. Like I said, out there I used a chatterbait with a white shad trailer, slow rolling it on the bottom in about 4 to 7 feet of water. So if you get a chance, get out there, check out the fishing. It's great right now. And thanks again for watching.